Today we have kitty play date, and I think every breeder should have a kitty that does not mind puppies. He is just so easygoing. Now they've never seen a kitty except just very minimally across the room. I'm not sure they even recognized him. But today they're getting their interaction with him. And they seem to really like him. If they get too rough with him, he will defend himself. But he's so used to having a lot of activity in the dogs. So this one's kissing him on the face. Oh my goodness. He's a really good cat for that. So get yourself a good, stable kitty who doesn't mind puppies, but also can teach them lessons. But also won't run from them and teach them that it's fun to chase kitties. What are you guys doing? Are you fighting? No fighting. What are you doing? What are you doing? All right. I'm going to get down here so you guys can see him at a better angle. Oh, who is that? Hi, Quinella. No. Yeah, that's Quinella. Quinella, and then here's Imogene. Hi, Imogene. They're all right on top of me. Hey, and there's Kenosha. Hi, Kenosha. And over there, playing with the kitty, is Andy. Andy, who's that? Andy, you better be nice to that kitty. It'll get you. Oh, good job. Good job. Are you fighting with the kitty? She's so funny. Like, she's the last to come when I get in the morning. When I come out, she's the last to want to come out. She just sits there and watches me. That's totally how Rose was. Rose just got shampooed. She just got her postpartum bath. And we're getting ready to dry her. She's actually sitting now to feed the puppies instead of standing. And she's trying to get my attention. Stop you. Stop. And so she they're getting too tall for her to lay down, or too wide, I should say, for her to lay down and feed them, because they take up too much space. So now she sits and lets them kind of just stand up and eat, because it's just easier for her that way, I think. Oh, sorry, I'm too close to him. Okay. That one's trying to eat standing up. Vanilla. Their nails are really sharp. I need to trim them again because they're scratching her up. I was going to tell you, if you're a breeder and you are watching my videos, one thing that I do every single day with my mamas that are nursing is I will go down across them, and this should happen every single day. I go across them, across the nipples, and just feel them. Make sure that none of them are hard or hot or crusty, or just, now they might be a little full and a little hard that way, but they won't feel hot and angry. So just check your mamas out every morning and make sure that they're not getting a mastitis or anything like that. If they are, personally, first thing I do is start hand expressing milk out of that nipple that seems to be, it could just be a clogged duct, and they're not quite at mastitis. But if you check them every day, you can reduce your chances hugely of having to have surgery or them having an explosive mammary gland or nipple that it just kind of opens up and explodes because it's completely infected. You just don't want it to get to that point. The other thing that I will do is get some vet wrap and the infected nipple, like there's like two that way. So I will put some green cabbage, just raw green cabbage, up onto that nipple, and then vet wrap around there to hold it on, and make sure that stays on for, overnight, or as long as you can do that. The puppies might end up ripping it off, or she might end up ripping it off, or whatever, but try to keep it on as much as you can. And definitely, I don't know what it is about cabbage, but cabbage definitely does help in that way. It helps for people, for mamas, human mamas, and it helps for doggy mamas. So now here is a lesson that you can't teach puppies. She's getting a little irate, and so Rose was biting the scruff of her neck, and she's teaching her some things. So when she starts getting too rough, Rose is going to put her in her place. And then when they get a little older, they do what we call slap downs, which is pretty hilarious if you ask me. They'll get a little crazy, and Mama will come over and smack them right on the head with her foot, and she slaps them down. So you can't replace that kind of training. I mean, that's something that it's really important that mamas are in with their babies, and she's teaching them a lot of things: how to get along, who's the boss, how to not be crybabies, and speaking of that, she has calmed down so much in the last couple days, and she's always one of the first to come and see me and lick my face. So her and Imogene are the two that come straight to people. Guanella comes straight out, but she's not necessarily coming out to see me. She's just, done for the day, or she wants to get out for the day. So Rose is teaching her some lessons right now. I can tell she's pushing her and getting her. She is playing with her. She is playing with her, but she's also teaching her some stuff. Look how she pushes her over. She's like, "Don't get rough with me. That might hurt you." Oh, she's going to bite her on the neck. And this is really good for them for learning. Oh, she's going to slap down. There she goes. That's a slap down. So at first she does it very tenderly and kindly. If she keeps coming back and she doesn't mind her manners, notice how she's picking on Guanella, because Guanella is the one that's trying to usurp authority over her, and she's gonna teach her who's the boss. Guanella is definitely the leader of our foursome here. And probably at the very bottom is this one. She's probably at the bottom. What are you doing? She's playing with the kitty. Oh, now look. Guanella. Hey, stop that. No. So Guanella is, she didn't like that at all. She is being a bully, and she is bullying. So, and this is just how puppies do. But this is where we start as humans to be the authority over them. We don't let them bully each other. We don't let them, and people will say, "Oh, that's just puppy play." That is not just puppy play. That is pecking order decisions making. So they're trying to decide who's alpha, who's the biggest, boldest, strongest. Hi, sweetie. Hi, Indy. And if you're not it, then they will be it. Hold on, I got to get this away from. What do you got? Thank you. No plastic. You have to be the boss anyways, is what I'm saying. So really you need to always be kind of refereeing all of their play with Kitty, play with other kids. And as soon as they start getting a little, too rough, then you're going to put an end to it. And usually it's the way that Mom does. But first it's kind of gentle poke. No. And then it's a little harder poke. No. And then they might shake them a little bit on the front of their chest. Just grab them by the chest and shake just a little bit. Let me just give you an example of that. You might do this. See how she's growling at me? As soon as she stops, then I'm going to let her go. Yes, good girl. Oh, she came right back at me. No. Now I'm just going to hold her down here. Yes, good girl. Oh, okay. That's a no. So move, Rose. If she gets rough, I get a little rougher. Are you done? Okay. Okay, good girl. She's biting again. Leave it. Yes. Good girl. Good girl. Leave it. Rose. Good girl. Good job. Good girl. Good job. Oh, she really thinks she's the boss here. This is great training. Good job. Good girl. And she might be in a way playing, but you can tell that she's not completely playing. There she is. She's licking. She's saying, okay, I give up. Good job. That's a good girl. That's a good girl. Good job, Guanella. And she's not mad at me anymore. But she understands, though, that I will not tolerate her biting me or biting somebody else. No. Good girl. Good job. Good job. She's definitely the alpha. There's no doubt, no doubt about that, Rose. Okay. So anyways, take care of your mamas because they can't tell you when they're not feeling good other than just when it's a little bit too late and they go down and they can't, function. You don't want to wait for that time where they get a fever and they're having issues with their getting clogged ducts or getting infection. So don't want mastitis. That is really a bad thing and something to really look for. Also, I noticed that she has a little bit of diarrhea, and I think it's because she's still cleaning up the puppy's poop because they haven't been eating very much. As soon as they start eating real solid, food, she'll stop cleaning that up. But she's still cleaning it up, and they had wormer. And so that might cause that. That might make, because they're pooping out that wormer, and she's cleaning it up. So I'm trying to clean it up as fast as I can, but if it happens overnight in the middle of the night, she'll clean it up. And so that could be why, but I'll just keep an eye on her. That's just something you want to watch. Make sure that it's not starting something bizarre. Also keeping your place mopped. So every morning when I come in, I clean up the cage. I open up this whole cage, take all of their bedding out and replace it. So all of that's going to go out in just a little bit and go into the washer and dryer. And then my new towels that I've been folding here, those will all be laid down in the place of the bedding. So every day change their bedding and every day mop. And even if they're going on the pee pads, I still try to mop every day. And what I do, and this is just, I know there's a lot of debate about what's the best thing to mop with. What I will do is I kind of rotate what I use. So one day I use bleach, and it's very diluted bleach. So maybe a quarter of a cup per gallon of bleach water. And I'll bleach the floor with that one day. The next day I will use the Mrs. Meyer's multi-surface cleaner, and I will dilute that down and put it in my mop bucket. And then the next day I might do ammonia and do that. So what I just keep, and sometimes I just do vinegar. But at any rate, you want a full spectrum without using a lot of chemicals. So what I try to do is just do a bunch of different types of cleaners to get that full spectrum without doing something so harsh every day that She's testing her limits again. Rose is saying, I'm going to tell you in a minute. But see, as they get older, and she's still really little, as they get older, they start really starting to press their push the limit, push the envelope. So mama's going to get harder and harder and harder on them. And she is a little bit of a stinker. So she's going to need to get a few of those smackdowns, I think. Rose is teaching her. Rose is like, you better stop that. Oh, now Andy's on top of her. And she's got a hold of Andy's ear. Oh, you little stinker. No. Good girl. That's a good girl. So as soon as they stop, they're not biting anymore, then praise them. Because you want them to know that they're doing the right thing. And they always are a little rough and tumble and everything. This is where they're trying to figure out the pecking order. This is where it all starts. So she's trying to say, I am the boss of all of you, except Mom and except Teresa. So she's got to be, when you take puppies home, I don't care how laid back they are, they need to understand that you are the boss of all of them. You are the boss of the dog that's been there a long time and the dog that just came in, the puppy that just came in. You're the boss of them all. There's no equal ground with dogs. So if you think in totem poles like a dog does, if you're not below them or if you're not above them, then you are below them. And so there's a lot of discussion on that and people that say that alphaism doesn't exist. And I'm telling you, it does exist. And all you have to do is watch. And Rose, she's doing a great job in teaching them that she is the alpha. But then we want them to understand that people are all alphas. So if your kids are there, they need to be alpha over the puppy. If your parents are there, your elderly parents are at the house, they need to be alpha over the puppy. If they can't, for some reason, say you have a special needs child or a child that's too little to fend for themselves, then you have to be the alpha for them that stands in between the puppy and the person. So say the puppy starts, getting onto your toddler and pulling its clothes. First, you just push the puppy back and say no. And then a lot of times the puppy will come right back and start pulling again. And so you just get a little bit firmer and a little bit firmer. And then if you have to, you can scruff the neck, which is just grabbing them by the neck like Mom would and just giving them a little shake. I don't mean a hurtful shake, just a shake that rattles their cage a little bit and says, pay attention to me. The other thing that you can do is poke. We use the poke and the ch sound in the rib cage and go psst or ch. And that will stop a puppy like in their tracks. I'm not sure why, but it just does. It's a good sound to use. And then as soon as they back off or comply with what you're asking, then you're going to praise them and tell them how good they are. Because we don't hold grudges. We just train and we respond, we correct, and we reward. And we have to be fair, but we have to also be firm. You have to be fast to respond. So it can't be like waiting until they're already done with the action that they're doing. You have to be expecting that. And then, what are you doing over there? Expecting what kind of behavior might come out of them and waiting for them to do it and then jumping on the chance to use it as a correction and a learning tool. So be fast, be firm, be fair, and be fun with your training. And you will have a very, very good dog. Right, Rose? We're going to cut all of her hair off today. I feel sad for her. She can't see, so usually I put it up in a ponytail, but the puppies are pulling it out, so we're just going to cut it down. You'll see her later. She'll have a normal haircut. But she'll be happy because she won't have all this hair in her face. So I hope you guys are all having a great Sunday and enjoying some time off maybe today. And yeah, so have a great day. Blessings.